You are looking at a daily chart of the Nasdaq, which has rallied. I wouldn't say rally, but it's been up the last couple of days after the sell-off last week. It made that high on Monday when we came back from Memorial Day of 17,032, and it got kind of rejected at that number and sold off a couple of days. But all it really did, technically speaking, is come down to the 21 EMA, and it found support. Now the last couple sessions it's bounced, and now it's back above all these moving averages here. The 10, it's 0.3 above the 10, 1.3 above the 21, and 3.4% above the 50. So and it's less than 1% off of its high. So I don't understand. There's no reason to be bearish in a market like this. I know the market's choppy, and I know that there's rotation going around. If you're in the wrong stocks, you can really get slaughtered. I'm going to show you some of those stocks. I'm also going to show you the ones that, are kind of the ones to be in, the winners right now. And, you just got to be flexible. You got to be nimble. You got to have an open mind. And you got to be a good stock picker to, survive in this tape. It's not easy. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, I just want to show this very quickly. Just bear with me here in a minute. I'll go back to the Nasdaq. But it's one of the weaker of the major indexes. I don't really give this too much attention. I just wanted to point out that the 10 is right there near the 50s, and the 21 just a tick above the 50. So this is threatening to turn off its power trend. Not that that's a big deal. You can see the 10 EMA is 38,829, and the 50 is 822. So it's right there. And the 21 just above it. I mean, like I said, it doesn't mean a hill of beans to me. I'm more of a NASDAQ guy, and that's why I show the NASDAQ. And the S&P, it's 500 stocks, but this is just 30 selected stocks. So I just wanted to point that out. So bear with me a minute. I'm going to go back to the NASDAQ because this is where my bread and butter is. I just wanted to point out here, it had a 12% move from April 19th to May 28th. Okay. 15,222 to 17,032, a 12% move, pulled back like 2%. People started freaking out. Oh my God, this market, we're done for. The world's coming to an end. And now it bounces. So technically, it just came down to the 21 and bounced. It was up 26 points today, or 0.17%, and closed at 16,857 on the lighter volume. Now, I don't mean to be glib or anything, because, big sell-offs start with small sell-offs like we saw last week. So it's always wise to be cautious, always wise to look at, all things considered in the market. And every day at mcstockcharts.com, I post the digital currency markets, and I post the commodity stocks, commodity prices, and the commodity stocks follow these commodity prices. And we're seeing some carnage in these commodity stocks. If you follow along, you know that the price of oil and a lot of the commodities have been falling, and it's partly due to future demand may be weak, and we've got some weak manufacturing numbers, and so, it's perceived that the market is weakening. And so oil has been going way down, and these stocks are going down as well. That's Chevron. This is a Warren Buffett stock. Don't worry about Warren. He's going to be okay. But Oxy's below the 200. He's, a swing trade for him is 10 years. So I don't think he's worried. ExxonMobil, below moving averages. So these are getting hit, which, that doesn't, for me, I'm a little, I don't know. It's a dilemma for me, because I know that when oil goes down, that means demand is down, the economy is weakening. But when they're up, then it means, it's inflationary, and we just can't have more inflation right now. And energy is a big part of inflation, along with housing. And this is what the market wants. It wants a weak jobs number on Friday. It wants the Fed to acknowledge the economy is weakening, and the next move is lower. They're going to lower rates and take the higher rates off the table, because it's cheaper money for businesses. So yeah, money flows better that way. So anyway, I also point out in every morning the commodity stocks, these commodity prices of gold, silver, and copper. They have been on a tear, but now they're coming down. They're coming back in, just like stocks. Nothing goes up in a straight line. The commodities are not going to go up a straight line either. So part of the narrative with the weaker economy is, not as much demand for the commodities. So this is SCCO, Southern Copper. You can see it broke out. It was on a heck of a run, and then now is pulled back below its 50. So to me, I think that's kind of good, but I understand that weakening economy is not great. The reason why the market will reward it is because of lower rates. So, they're thinking that, well, I don't want to get into it. I'm just going to go through the stocks here. And every morning you look at those tables. I don't post those for my help. I post them because they actually have a bearing on these stocks. Commodity stocks trade with commodity prices often, and Freeport McMoran, another one that is below its 50 here. So, this is looking weak. And so they're rotating out of these energy stocks, they're rotating out of the minor stocks. You can see they've had big runs, and now, they're rotating out of these areas. They're also, I got to point out, okay, that's enough for the oil and the miners. I'm going to go to the restaurant stocks. Sweet greens. Now this is one of our gappers here. It blasted higher on May 10th, 34% move. Now it's pulled back to its 21. I think this is like a bull wedge pattern. It's got potential here as now it starts to make these higher highs here. But I don't want you to, be, willy-nilly, you get the okey doke in the morning here. This is this morning. It looks like it's going to gap higher. This is yesterday morning. Gaps higher. You get in, yippee, and all of a sudden, whoops, you're underwater. So you got to be careful. You got to read the market. Would you rather buy here? This is what people do. The market opens up and they get all excited. Sweet green's up and they buy it up here. And then they go, oh my God, what did I do? And they sell here. And then at the end of the day, the stock's up and going, why didn't I just hold on to it? Anyway, same thing this morning. It gaps higher. It's up. I don't know what it's up. Jeez, not much. But the first 15 minutes in, it makes a high there at 31.60. 20 minutes into the session. Okay. So all the cowboys are in here buying it up, and now, oops, an hour later, they're underwater. Don't be that person. Okay. Take your time. Wait, watch, observe the action, that's showing you its range here. So it made a low, retested the low, and then started climbing higher. And that's when maybe you want to, enter into the stock. So anyway, just don't be a hero. Don't be a cowboy. Don't jump in like a chicken with his head cut off, running around just buying stocks willy-nilly. Be selective. Okay. I like sweet greens, but I'm not going to sit there and just buy every gap up every morning. And you could see that it pulled back technically. After this move higher, it just pulled back to the 21. That's all it's done. It's found support. It tested and retested several times, and now it's making higher lows. Today was just an inside day. Okay, so to me, this still looks valid. It's a valid entry area and actionable for sweet greens. Anyway, I'm going to get off my. Anyway, I'm going to go to CAVA. This was downgraded Monday, and it didn't handle the downgrade very well. I believe it was down like 5%. It's just time for a pullback on these. This thing's had a heck of a run, and it was down, 5% yesterday, and then just pull back to its 10. Technically, that's all it did, is just pull back to its 10. So CAVA looks fine. It's nowhere near an entry though, and I don't chase stocks, so I'm just observing the action. And Chipotle is one that I have to point out. I mean, made a high here and now pulled back. They're going to split 50 for 1, so everybody knows that. If you want to buy, Chipotle, you buy 2 shares and you'll have 100 on. I believe it splits the 7th. What's today? The 4th? Yeah. Okay, the 4th. And anyway, that's Chipotle. And the last one I wanted to show is Bros, because I'm putting this on my ready list. I really like the looks of this. Well, first of all, let me back up. On the earnings report, it gapped higher 12% on May 8th. We like that with volume, and it just kept gapping higher and higher, right? So, some shorts getting burned here covering, and this is a nice move. But when we, build the right side of the base this quickly, usually there's got to be some, profit taking, and, some people, just if you bought at 28 and you sell at 38, that's a good trade, right? So that's expected move for Bros to pull in a little bit. It's making this wedging type pattern with these higher lows. This is what I like. It's a lot like sweet greens, except for it's got like an outside day instead of an inside day. And then today, I believe it closed, you can see it's near the high of its daily range. So Bros to me looks good. I like it above, was it 38.54? Yeah, I like it above 36.10. get above that Friday bar. So, yeah, Bros looks good to me, and yeah, I'm gonna put that on my ready list. Anyway, enough with the restaurant stocks. There's kind of a rotation out of retail. Retail had a big move, and they're rotating out of our retail. So, let me see. How do I know that? Well, I just look at Deckers. Deckers pull back. Yeah, had a big move, came back. Crocs, one of these ones that had a breakout. Now the last three sessions of pullback. All it really did though is come back to its 10 EMA. So watching this one, the old buy point's still valid too. If you missed it, the second mouse gets to cheese here, right? If you're a patient, you might be able to get Crocs there at 146. All right, I'm going to move on to the software names. Once again, app, this is one that I like. The pullback to the 21 here, but like I said, don't be a cowboy. You can see this early morning action where they, run it up, the first 10 minutes or so and then sell you right off, right? You don't want to be that guy who, buys here and then sells here. You feel like you don't feel doesn't feel very good. This one really ramped this morning and it's like the old okey doke, right? And there's your daily range. And it did, try to trade higher, but it was down 1% in this session. But that's a move you don't want to get caught in. If you're buying it up here, 10 minutes into the session at 85, and then what, an hour, not even an hour later, come on, 10 minutes later, geez, that's a quick move. It's down to 79. So don't be that guy. Don't rush in. Only fools rush in. So that's just lesson for the day. Anyway, Monday, another software name, software I just can't get into. Since the Salesforce beat down last week, it's too hard. This area is too hard, just like the hardware names with Dell, just spitting the bit. It's just too hard. This one pulled back to its 50, found support, had an inside day, big deal. Probably going to take a little time down there and retest that low of 128.60. I'm not interested in Dell at that. And SMCI, Dell sneezes, everybody catches a cold. SMCI just looks bad. They're not going to, this is probably forming a base. And if the AI revolution is going to go on for months and quarters and years, this is going to rebound, but it just needs to form a base. They'll probably raise guidance and blow out earnings a couple more quarters this year. But it's just, there's a lot of sellers in here and it's just got to form a base. Stocks need to form bases. They don't go up forever. And the last one is VERT. Talk about, needing to form a base. This one looks like, it needs to. The last one was October of 2023. This has been one of our big leaders this year. And now, it's sold off, 6-7 days in a row. Just, it's time. People, taking profits. They're moving out of the hardware and into other areas. All right, so that's it for that group. Now I'm going to move on to the drugs because I like drugs. VKTX reported, pretty good NASH data this morning. You think, oh my gosh, it's going to rip higher. Nope, it's sell the news. And the problem with these speculative, biotech stocks with no earnings, all they do is release data. They have studies, they release data, but they don't have any drugs on the market and they have no earnings or sales. So unless somebody buys these guys, it's like, if you're from Missouri, you got to show me. And they're not showing much besides they have good compounds. And that's not enough for Wall Street right now. You want to go with, the proven, the earnings and sales leaders with Eli Lilly and Novo. This is a benefit from, believe it or not, that little speculative biotech money flowed into here today. Novo's King Kong and Lilly of this group, the obesity group. I mean, I think I say it just about every day. I mean, these guys have a duopoly, and I believe you got to have NVIDIA and Apple and Novo in your retirement accounts for long term, and Eli Lilly as well. Just breaking out. These are breaking out. To me, Lilly's extended and Novo's still actionable, although I wouldn't pay like I guess above 143 for this one. Came up to 140 and got rejected today. Actually, it didn't get rejected, did it? It closed at 98% of its daily range. So yeah, probably blast through there tomorrow. But yeah, I wouldn't pay more than like 142.50, 143. It's starting to get a little extended. So I mentioned the data from Viking, Lilly, and Novo, or they don't really. There's so many people who are going to be using these drugs. It's going to be the biggest drug of all time. That we need more and more and more companies for supplies to manufacture, and it's not one or the other. It's all of them. All of them are going to be able to benefit from this massive theme. And this is one of the big themes that I believe is investable for longer term, along with the AI and the energy plays. Um, so the other one that I wanted to show is Vertex. There's another one that I had on my ready list. And this one's extended. This is like Lily, it bounced and it's gone. Sometimes you just got to say goodbye. So if you got it, congratulations. This is a textbook cup with handle, the pull back to the moving average, and the blast higher. So that looks fantastic. Oh, and I have to show you HIMS. HIMS I like. HIMS I want to buy, but I don't chase stocks. So the buy point there was 1716. It's at 2083. The moving averages are rising quickly, and maybe a pullback to a moving average would be an opportunity. Somebody asked me to look at this. I like it, but it just I don't chase stocks, so that's my discipline that I can't do it, even though I like the stock. I have Novo and Lilly, and I'm just gonna have to be happy with that. All right, couple of other names that I got to get to. Boot Barn, and these guys are just on a heater. You can see on a larger chart here, you can see this cup with handle pattern. It's just trading higher now, surfing like Kelly Slater on its moving averages, and it's just boom. So Boot Barn looks good, and then I don't know what you want to call this. To me, it's a consumer name, software consumer name. But this one I should have had on my ready list this week, and I didn't. I noticed the pullback last week to the 50, and it's, a stock like this is one of our leaders on our leading stock list. And the standard buy point is 319. It's okay to buy it around 319, but I mean, you'd rather buy it at 300 than 320, right? Now it's at 326. To me, it's still actionable, but it's starting to get away. You can see the blue dot in the RS line, trading through the moving averages, which to me, signals strength. And, those are the stocks I want to own anyway. All right, I'm going to go back to the negative here. The HVAC stocks are definitely cooling off. This is a fixed comfort system slicing. It's 50, and this is part of the slowing, allegedly the narrative of the slowing economy. It's a slowing oil and the copper, silver, and gold selling off. The economy overall is going to slow. So these are going to be, sensitive to that. And the other one, is Modine, which I had on my ready list, and slice it's 50, then powered back up, and now it's below it again. So it's adios muchachos for me. A couple stocks that I do like in the medical group. This is Intuitive Surgical. I have this on the ready list. Why? Well, look, it's trading in a base, and it's trading tight, and it's trading near its moving average. Had a bullish engulfing candle today. To me, that looks good. PRCT. This is a robotics, biorobotics, Proceps biorobotics, and this one just pulled back. It broke out, pulled back to its 21, and that one looks good as well. And a couple of bummers. These are my bummer stocks. MELI, put it on the ready list, and it just took a dive these last 2 days. Yeah, below the 21, not good. Down nearly 4% today. And then Celsius is another one. Was on the list last week and just took a dive below the 50. And now, you see it's a short every time it goes up against these moving averages, it gets pushed down. Slowing growth is not good for growth stocks. So beware, it's a jungle out there, a lot of landmines. And so you got to be in the leading and winning stocks. Coin, I believe the crypto stocks are some of these are actionable too. Coinbase, certainly one of them, trading above its moving average there. Looks pretty good. Robinhood Markets, I like this one at 2055. It keeps bouncing up and down, up and down. That's, sell when it's up, buy when it's down. A little trade range here. I believe eventually it's going to break out of that little pattern. And then MicroStrategy, yeah, nice cup with handle here. This one looks fantastic. It'll be on our ready list as well. All right, okay. Oh, I gotta show you NVIDIA. I think I skipped NVIDIA today. So you want to know about winning stocks? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I did show that, right? And I did show Apple. Okay. I'm not losing my mind, am I? These are two that I like, two of the big Mag 7, I guess you could say, that I like, and they're trading higher. So stocks going higher, I like. Stocks going lower, I don't like. Let's keep it simple. All right, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Except for an honor, the great Steve Jobs. I have one more thing, and I think it's important to note for tomorrow that we had some earnings reports tonight from CrowdStrike. It's up 6% after hours. Outstanding quarter, beat and raise all metrics. CrowdStrike's hitting on all cylinders. This is the king of computer software security or cybersecurity, whatever you want to call it. Palo Alto is stumbling. Zscaler's doing well, but CrowdStrike is just it's going to be the largest market cap in this group. They beat and they raised, and they're just hitting on all cylinders. Fantastic management. This thing pulled back below the 50. What, 1, 2, 3, 4 sessions here in a row, and it pulled back, and the 50 is 316.92. So tomorrow we can expect it to drive back through that 50. And I'm going to take a look at this RS line and see if it drives right back through these moving averages. That would be a buy. The paint by numbers buy point here is 358. I would not wait to 358. I know when it goes through that 50, I'm interested in owning that one as well. These are the winners that you have to own, right? I'll get back to that in a minute. Anyway, HPE, Hewlett Packard, they reported tonight. They were up 12% after hours. That's fantastic. Back in the day, Hewlett Packard, IBM, those things really drove the market. If the stock was up 12%, the market would be rocking and rolling. But now, this might help a certain area. CrowdStrike might help a certain area, but it's not going to drive the indexes higher. But this is very good action here after hours. Some good reports. Philip Van Heusen Apparel. I didn't really look at that report. I'll have to go through it, but it's flat after hours. And then the last one is GWRE. This is another one of these software names. It's up nearly 8% after hours. I have to go through their report. But it's responding well, so I'm not sure about the numbers. Anyway, that's it for me today. I'll have a new ready list tomorrow, but man, you really got to be careful. So, I have on my leading stock list, which I believe these are the stocks I want to own and do own for the most part. These are the winners. NVIDIA, Spotify is, one of these names. You got to find a way in this thing. Novo Nordisk is another one. These things look great. Eli Lilly just breaking out, and very strong stocks. Crowd is another one that sold off under the 50. Now it's going to bounce tomorrow. Micron, this one, Dell really hurt the hardware stocks, but this one had a nice shakeout. Now an inside day today. This looks fantastic to me. Need to see it get above the 10. I need to see it get above that Monday bar of 128.84, but it's just incubating right here and marking time. That one looks fine as well. Just a lot of these stocks that are doing well that you got to pay attention to. Of course, ELF was one. ELF ran like 30 points, so yeah, it was down 3% today. But to me, ELF looks fine. Just inside day, building the right side of the base. You don't want this base to go straight up. The right side I just showed you. Let me see. Annette was one. Just this right side of this base from 240 to 329. Now what's it doing? It's just, selling off, going back to the 50. This is going to take some time. I'm not saying it's going to fail, but MU is kind of the same way. They run up, from 105 to whatever this was, 133. That's a big move. So now it's got to pull back a little bit. And then now ELF, I'm watching this. I want to see it just kind of trade sideways. 190, 200, 180, 200, 180, 190. That's fine. Just trade sideways. I'm good with that. Let the moving averages catch up, but that's definitely a leading stock in the cosmetics group. But there's a lot of rotation going on. It'll chop you up if you're not nimble, if you're not quick. you have to be flexible unless you have a longer time frame and you just want to hold out for a long term, that's fine. You want to hold Lilly for a longer term, I mean, you're not trading that, you're just gonna hold it, that's fine. But I'm a swing trader. I don't want to own stocks that are going up. Like I say, stocks going up, I like. Stocks going down, I do not like. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Look for that new ready list tomorrow morning. We're gonna add some quality stocks, quality setups. Have a good night. Never give up.